This is a special edition of The Factor, terror attack in London. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching us this evening. The death toll right now stands at 37 and at least 700 wounded after a series of bombs exploded this morning in England's capital city. The Talking Points memo this evening is about sanitizing terror, failing to deal realistically with a deadly enemy. This morning I was having breakfast in Killarney, Ireland, when the terror attack news broke. My first thought was Al-Qaeda trying to disrupt the G8 summit in Scotland. My second thought was, now maybe Europe will wise up. The terrorists are the evildoers, not the USA. That is probably wishful thinking. Generally speaking, the European media is viciously anti-American when it comes to the war on terror. The garbage these people are throwing out to a largely clueless public is astounding. Failed leaders like Chirac in France and Schroeder in Germany also pound home the anti-American theme to divert attention away from their own disastrous administrations. But now the terrorists have struck again. 9/11, Madrid, today London. If all the anti-U.S. bitterness were redirected into anti-terror bitterness, the world might defeat these savages. We all know which major countries allow terrorists to operate: Iran, Syria, Saudi Arabia, and to a lesser extent, Pakistan and Indonesia. Why isn't the European press condemning those countries? Why doesn't Europe admit Saddam's regime helped terrorists all day long? Why won't the world help the struggling democracy in Iraq? These are powerful questions, and this London terror attack should get those questions on the front burner where they belong. But don't expect the elite American media to ask them. A few days ago, Edward Wong, a reporter for the New York Times, described Abu al-Zarqawi as a, quote, Jordanian fighter, unquote. Can you believe an American newspaper would print that? Al-Zarqawi is a vicious al-Qaeda killer, a man who beheads civilians and orders the murders of women and children. And the New York Times calls this guy a Jordanian fighter? That kind of sanitizing terrorism must stop. The American people, you, must demand that it stop. The anti-American press, both here and in Europe, is actually helping the terrorists by diminishing their threat. Talking Points urges you to begin holding people accountable for their position on the terror war. Walk away from media that excuses or sanitizes these brutal acts. USA is not the problem in this world. The terrorists are. And if you don't agree with that, you are helping killers like al-Zarqawi. Enough's enough. London should be the last straw. And that's a memo.